Hey guys! So this week's mission is basically to talk about your favorite anime series and basically talk about the climax of the series and say that the climax of the series never happened, what would happen, and how would the series resolve. So since Britt already talked about Gundam 00, I'm actually going to talk about the Gundam 00 movie, since technically that still counts because it's technically the end of the series. So if you have not watched the Gundam 00 movie, then do not watch this video. It'll have spoilers, so just keep that in mind. Now for me, the climax of the series, or at least one of them, was when Graham... Alright, I have to set up the scene first. So at this point in the movie, everyone is fighting the aliens, and the army is attacking the aliens, and the Gundams are trying to fight the aliens as well, and Tieria and Setsuna are trying to go to the alien world so that they can, negotiate peace with the aliens. However, to get there, they can't get through the... I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm not sure exactly what it was called, but I'm guessing it was a wormhole to go to their alien world. I'm just going to say that was it, but I haven't watched it in a while, so I might be wrong. And for some reason, they can't get through the wormhole, and I can't remember why, and Graham goes through the wormhole, but I think he opens it up or something, and he has to sacrifice himself in order for Tieria and Setsuna to go through the wormhole. I really should have watched the movie last night so that I could actually, talk about it more, but that's what I think pretty much happened. And if that weren't to happen, I was thinking maybe instead of Graham going to attacking the wormhole or whatever it was a ship or something. I forget exactly, but instead of him blowing up and sacrificing himself, I would think that Lock-On should sacrifice himself. And don't get me wrong, I love Lock-On. I just feel like it would have been more emotional for me, personally. And I'm not saying that it wasn't emotional because that was the most emotional scene in the movie, and I cried when Graham died. But I feel like I would have cried harder if it was Lock-On. And this is because I was thinking maybe when he was about to crash into the wormhole, or whatever it was, I forget. But if he were to do that, and then he would see Anu, right before he hit the wormhole or whatever it was, right before he hits it, he sees Anu and he whispers her name right before it blows up or something. I think that would be so emotional, and I would have cried my eyes out. I guess that was my expectation for what was going to happen. I don't know why, but I just had this feeling that Lock-On was going to die in the movie. I just had a feeling, and it didn't happen. And I don't know, I still love the movie, but I feel like that would have been a more emotional impact for me. Also, there's a scene in the movie where Alleluia and Marie are fighting, or they're not, well, yeah, they're kind of fighting in the space, and then their mecha blows up, or their Gundam, his Gundam, and then you feel like they died, but they didn't die. And I feel like if they would have died, it also would have had more emotional impact. I don't know why, I just like emotional scenes in anime, and I feel like it would have been more emotional that way. And that scene also really reminds me of the scene in the series where Patrick dies, and I really love that scene, but he didn't die, and it didn't make any sense to me why he didn't die. He blows up right after, saying his goodbye to Caddy, I think her name is. I can't remember exactly. I haven't seen it in a while. But he says goodbye to her, and then his mecha blows up. And I feel like if he would have died, it would have made more sense. And I guess that's the only thing I really would have changed, just have Lock-On die instead of Graham. I just feel like that would have been more emotional, and then have basically the same thing happen. Also, I would have liked the epilogue to have more closure. I would have liked to see Lock-On and Tieria and Alleluia and Saji in the epilogue, even though that didn't happen that way. You only see Setsuna and Marie, but I would have liked to see them, even though it was like, what, 50 years later? I forget exactly how many years later, but I just feel like it would have been cool to see all of the Gundam pilots at the end. So that's really all I would change about the movie. I love the movie, so I don't feel like it needs changing. I just feel like that would have made it more emotional that way. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next week, and we will see our Friday person tomorrow. I can't remember who's Friday. I think it's Rachel. Yes. I'm sorry if it's not. It's either Rachel or 99% Otaku. I can't remember. I am just blah tonight. So we'll see someone tomorrow. Have a good night. See ya.